Hello, everybody. Happy Free VOD Friday. I am back, and I'm ready to show you guys all the things that you're doing wrong so you can rank up in the last 11 days of the season, bro. I'm not even halfway through the battle pass. Yikes. But hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to help you guys all out. I'm ready really whenever you guys are, just to start sending in VODs and get stuff going here. I am very ready for next season. That is for certain. I am very, very ready for next season. Just some housekeeping things, though. I do not know if I'm going to do another unranked GM. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like I said, I was going to do Kiriko, but I think I might hold off. I think I might hold off on the unranked GMs just because it's just such a time commitment. It's such a time commitment during the week. Well, I'm still taking college classes. And I feel like there's not really a support right now that hard carries. I mean, like Lucio, here's the thing, is a Junker Queen meta. The unranked GM to do right now is Junker Queen. I don't really want to do that. I might wait until maybe Life Weaver gets buffed or something along those lines where the character's a little bit better. But I'm gonna be honest, like, with classes, because I'm taking summer classes, doing an unranked GM, I just fall behind on everything, and it's maybe not the best idea to keep doing unranked GMs. Plus, Ana and Zen are like the two that I mean, like Baptiste I would do, but I don't want to do that in a J Queen meta, because the way that I'm going to teach you guys how to play the game in a J Queen meta is going to be so different than any other meta. So I think I'm going to push back on that. That being said, I do have some other content ideas for other things, for streams and stuff, that I feel as though we will have more fun doing different types of content than just reusing this pipeline. Overwatch is in one of those states where, like, to be honest, we just got to do what we want to do, because there's nothing that's going to get views. There's nothing that's going to get any hype. Just do whatever the community wants to do. So I hope that I'll be able to provide that kind of stuff. But with that all out of the way, I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit more in the coming few days. But I want to start talking about your VODs. So if you guys have any codes, please send them in the chat. Welcome Mythic, welcome Stobbs, welcome Asalon. I hope you guys are doing so well. If you guys have codes, just send them in chat. Don't send them in Discord, just send them in chat. It's a lot easier for me to just look at them. I'll be going until 4 o'clock, but if the VODs die down, I will end stream early. It's a hot Friday. How am I already halfway through my water for the rest of the stream? That's not a good sign. Allergies. Allergies, I say. Oh, one more thing. Since the Pride patch came out, I think the codes got reset. They didn't? I guess they didn't get reset. I thought the Pride update was going to be bigger. So never mind. All codes are fine. They're all fair game. That's kind of unreal. Huh. Interesting. What if is there competitive mystery heroes right now? Competitive deathmatch. Interesting. All right, we got our first one. Florida Man. Plat 1 console Brig. Let us look at this. We are doing free VODs. We are going to begin now. Just send them in chat and we will go over them. If I forget you, please remind me. But with our first VOD of the day, let's get in. Did I type in the wrong code? For some reason, it's not working. Was this recent? Like, did I not get an update or something? which is weird because I still have all these codes. It should be working. Or is it that it says 0? No, I don't know. That one's not working for some reason. Why does it not work? Oh, it's an 8. There we go. All right. Again, anyone send codes if you want to. We're going to be talking about Florida Man here. Plat 1 Brig player. Let's see how we play this out. So, ooh, we have a Life Weaver. That stinks. That's sure. Wait, that's Lucio now, or is that Life Weaver still? All right, so we have Life Weaver. We have Symmetra. I'm gonna be honest, straight off the bat, your team composition, it ain't looking great. So you're gonna have to do some deadlifting here. You're in Plat 1 and people are still playing Junker Queen meta, dude. That's how bad this game has gone right now. This game has gone downhill. Holy moly! So here's the thing. Your main goal as Brig in this meta, again, I haven't played the most recent iteration of it, but you're not really playing Brig in the most recent iteration. What you're going to try to do in the old iteration, you're going to try to whip shot the J Queen off of her axe so it doesn't hit anyone, because that you're kind of filling the role of the Lucio since this guy's playing Life Weaver. By doing that, you're also going to get some Inspire Charge, which you're going to want to have up as much as possible. The last thing you want to make sure you're doing, especially in this meta, is if you have a flanker like a Genji or a Tracer, which you really should the higher you go, you're going to be looking to pack them a whole lot, not really pack your J Queen. Your J Queen should be kind of fine on her own and with your Inspire, and as well with your other support. So we'll see how this goes out. Their team comp is actually pretty dang good, but let's see how this goes around. Oh my lord, this game is so loud. Okay. Sorry, we go to whip shot pretty early on in the fight. We just want to make sure that we're not letting that queen do whatever she wants. The moment that she looks for an axe as well, if she misses it, like the moment this Junker Queen is dead, that's your time to get really aggressive and start just doing as much damage as possible. You have to understand that this isn't... This style of Brig is almost like a ball comp style of Brig, where you're playing pretty aggressive here with your J Queen after they have used their axe and missed maybe, so they can't get up on you. So, okay, now they have a Zarya. You can really just whip shot whoever so that you can get your Inspire up. But this whole time, realistically, you're just going to swing with your J Queen this entire time and just allow her to get a lot of damage done and keep getting value out of that. That's essentially your idea. You're just going to be playing to enable your Junker Queen here, because I don't really think your DPS need a lot of help because they're not really flanking super hard. See, right here, this is good. Like, okay, we booped the Zarya away. I just don't think you need to be so scared. I think you can third-person peek a little harder and just like kind of see what's going on with the fight, because you could be a lot more aggressive here if you're going to carry on Brig, that is. Nothing too blatant here. Just want to make sure we're not packing someone that doesn't need it or is a Junker Queen. Like right there, you can Inspire that. Honestly, right here, it's just like you can be so much more proactive on Brig and get away with so much more. Excuse me. Excuse me. You can be a lot more proactive at this rank and get stuff done if you're going to force Brig. Like if you're going to force Brig and just kind of sit here and let things happen, like you're going to lose games. That's just factual statements. Like right here, this whole time, you can hold this line and really pressure them out, really force out some bubbles, maybe force out that Tracer before she can flank. You want to make sure that you're not letting them walk all over you and you're punishing people for it. I know that Shift, Holy Shift Kid, says a lot about playing like that Brig's a defensive character. It really depends on the composition. A lot of time in higher ranks, Brig was more defensive to try to keep your support alive. But in this, like, you're playing Junker Queen. The comp is very sharp. It's very forward. It's very aggressive. You don't really have time to sit around and let the game happen to you. And hello, everyone that's just coming in chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're doing free VODs. Send in your VODs. I'll look over all of them. I'd be happy to do so. Yep. See, like, this is kind of what I like. You see this guy is isolated and you're going to walk off of it. You don't want to whip him away because then you're not going to be able to do more damage in that situation. The mechanics definitely could be better on the whip shot as well. So I know that shift, because if you're a Brig player and you're like a hardcore Brig enthusiast, you probably know Holy Shift Kid. Holy Shift Kid is coming out with a code for Brig to practice. I don't have that code yet. I actually might, but use that if you're a Brig player, because that will be helpful. Again, we're just going through this VOD until someone else sends it, so... He already has it. Oh, okay. That was a weird life grip. So yeah, right here, we're just kind of playing away from the Zarya. If it were up to me and I realized that the Zarya was going to swing this way, immediately what I would have done is I would have taken an aggressive way of going about this fight. So the big thing is, like, you can either hide from a window or push past it. And the whole idea here is, like, we have Queen. If the Queen is already set up here on this horizontal, where the window is, she has a very easy time walking past it. So if it were up to me, in this situation, when I have my shield up here, I recognize that the window is there, but there's Zarya is swinging on this blue arrow here. Can you guys even see? You guys can't see. Immediately, I'm just thinking, okay, I'm shield bashing this way. Like, I'm going to try to get into that window and maybe kill this BAP to counteract this Zarya swing. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Not this idea of, oh, let me run away because I'm scared and I'm going to die to Zarya. Like, oh no, Zarya's going to get me. No, that's not the idea. The idea is, okay, let's push the aggression so that they have to actually force me out. And they don't just get to do things for free. Okay, you know what's crazy? So many support players in Platinum are so afraid of being aggressive in feeding, right? Because it's like, people in lower elos, they will always blame the supports. They'll always be like, I'm not getting enough heal. No, this is usually how it goes. Guys, we're not killing anything. Well, it would be great if I had some healing. My healers suck. Their healers have 5k more heals than we do. In reality, the problem is, you don't need that much healing. What you need is a little bit more damage to help you because you're not being efficient enough on DPS. Let me help you with that. Let me do some damage for you. That is what the fix is. People will flame you no matter what, but at the end of the day, you're in plat. You'll be masters in a month, and they'll still be stuck in plat with the same dog meat mentality they have. That's the reality of the situation here. Because, like, if you're going to play this safe, just play Mercy. Just play Ana. There's no point in this composition to be playing Brig if you're not going by whip shot. Sometimes that's hard to hit. And also just walking forward with your Queen. That's how you get it done. Like, that's the main idea as Brig is usually just like, okay, how do I get my Inspire up consistently in the meta that I'm playing in? And the meta you're playing in is Queen. So it's naturally going to be more aggressive, and it's going to punish you when you take bad rotations like this. So, like, here's the problem. Like, okay, you take this initial rotation, fine, whatever. You can't really just stand around here. You can't look back at your team. Like, why are you looking back at your team? Realistically, because we hear where the Tracer is. She was somewhere around this location, I think. I think she's back there. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Give me a second. Where is their Tracer? Oh, their Tracer's dead. So, like, when the backline pressure is dead, why are we looking behind us, you know? Walk forward with the team and just start to get aggressive with your Queen. Because this Zarya you'd force out bubbles so fast, you'd make your J Queen's life so much easier if you just played faster. Yeah, we're doing console player coaching right now, so please just send in your codes. It doesn't matter. We're doing free VODs for everyone. But the problem here is, one, we took too long to rotate. Two, we're still not understanding, like, what your role is to fill in this comp. And a lot of people don't get that. And a lot of my unranked GMs recently have been around, we need to be more aggressive. We need to take advantage of the space the Queen is giving you. When you sit in corners like this, you're allowing them to punish you in rotation. And that's what a lot of lower elo characters, the characters that do well in low elo, are the characters that need a little bit of time to get stuff done and punish people heavily in rotations. They're your Anas. They're your Junkrats. They're your Sigmas even. Those characters are really strong in low elo because people take so long to rotate and they don't have an idea of what they want to do. They're not, like, assertive with what they want to do, and they'll just fall over every single time because of it. But what I would say Be more proactive in the way that you're playing. Be more aggressive when you have a Junker Queen. If you had a ball and you're playing like a Zen and they have a Winston, obviously that role is going to change. But in this situation, how am I going to get inspired consistently? How should I go about doing that? In against the monkey comp, the monkey's always going to be jumping my support. I get my inspire every single fight by just booping him off of my support. Bam, cool. And then we can take a fight after and walk in. Having that understanding of I need my inspire uptime to be maximized to heal my team will definitely help you out a lot in the terms of like how you want to go about playing this game as Brigitte. If you have any questions, please do DM me on Discord. I'm sure you have that. Why is it not working again? Just let me know. Also, we are streaming on Twitch. The quality is better on Twitch for some reason, people have told me. So if quality is a big stickler for you, understand that Twitch is also an option. But let's keep going here. We're going on with Emily. You are a Plat 1 Anna on PC. Also, happy Friday. Happy VOD, free VOD Friday. It's my pleasure to help you guys out today. Hello, Phoenix. How you doing? Gonna go apply those tips right now. Yeah, and tell me how they go. I hope it helps you. It's not like a full VOD, but you know, it's a little bit of something. A little bit of something. What's your name? Is your name Nico? Emily?
5, 4, 3, 2.
Because we did say Plat 1 Anna. Or is it Bean? Bean! Or is it Bean? I'm going to assume this is you because it's the only Anna in the game. So, okay. When I'm playing with a hog, the main thing I want to look for is to support whatever he hooks. If it needs support, which nowadays it kind of does most of the time. If it's a squishy, I can get away with just shooting it most of the time if I time it right to help the hog kill. But if it's a tank, I want to look for an anti. Or if it's a tankier DPS, I want to look for the anti. If it's a brig, I want to look for the anti. Off of his hooks, we'll help him every single time. Problem here is that you're going to be looking at a Zarya this entire game. So you're going to have to count how many bubbles she has. And you're going to want to make sure you have effective grenades. Make sure you're listening to this. You want to make sure you have effective anti-grenades that are going to force out bubbles from her. Because at the end of the day, she's going to bubble your nade. The thing is, you want to get a situation where you're getting like 1 or 2 targets antied, and she's going to have to put 2 bubbles out at once. She has no more bubbles for herself, no charge, and now your team just wins the neutral. That's kind of the whole idea, right? In terms of the people you're going to nano, honestly, to that composition they have, a Cassie nano wouldn't be terrible. Tracer nano also wouldn't be terrible. Also a hog nano if he gets a hook on something that's big and you want to make sure it dies. But with that all out of the way, you're playing a hog comp with a Mercy. You're playing to take angles. You do not have to stick with your hog. You're playing against the Zarya. You want to make sure you're looking at that pharmacy. You're pressuring them out. There's a lot you got to do here. To be quite honest, you got to pressure out that pharmacy. You got to make sure you're hitting good nades so that the Zarya gets stuff cleansed. You got to make sure that your hog's hooks are getting followed up upon. There's a lot of things you got to do. And, you know, staying with your team and getting splashed altogether by this Pharah, that's not one of the things you necessarily need to do. Sometimes you will do it, but make sure that you understand you're not playing really a brawl core. You're not playing against something that's going to dive you. So you have that opportunity to take off angles if you want to. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's go in here. So yeah, right off the bat, I'm glad you didn't make the mistake of running into the staircase and trying to take a close fight when you have a hog. I would have liked to see you rotate here a little bit faster so you can take map control quickly, because it's a lot easier to shoot the Pharah from this angle right here than it is all the way back here where she can just kind of like maneuver. Right here, you have a lot more opportunities to pressure out that Pharah. Obviously, you didn't know that, but had you done that as your default, it would have been a lot easier. Okay, so realistically, the reason why you lost this fight, this Pharah just isn't getting pressured. Quite frankly, that is your job as Ana in ladder, because your hit scan's never going to do that. They're never going to do that. So the thing is, you would want to make sure you're actually pressuring her from the get-go so she can't get all that damage on your team. That's the main idea. I will give you benefit of the doubt because you made the mistake of not pushing out here fast enough. You wouldn't have known that they had a Pharah. But just understand the playstyle difference here is you're healing your team. You're trying to out-heal the team's damage from the Pharah when in reality, the solution here is you just need to stop the damage from hitting you. Because you're not going to out-heal that damage. The damage is healing here. The forcing them out is the healing here. This is why I don't want to do unranked GMs anymore. I want to get back to these fundamentals. And actually, I want to make a video next week about this kind of stuff because I feel like a lot of people struggle. You don't need to kill people in FPS games. Don't hit... Here's the thing. Again, the whole idea you just used your nade defensively. Don't do that. Reason being, you want to apply anti-nades to pressure the enemy and try to get those bubbles out so your Hog has an easier opportunity to hook. He will be fine into that composition. He is Hog. He can vape himself. He will be fine. You don't have to worry about him. But like right here, the reason why I'm saying it's okay for you to take off angles is because like when they have a Pharah, I have a Hog, I have a Mercy, I have a Tracer too. I have a very high self-sustained comp. I don't need to help them really. What I need to do is I need to make sure that they keep their self-sustain as long as possible. So when I see this, I don't like that we're all playing in the same area because that means that this Pharah is going to get crazy good poke. She already got 40% on her ult charge. Arguably, she should have more. I would be playing to take maybe this high ground angle here if it's available. Or maybe even taking this angle over here where it's available. Because this Pharah, she's not playing in a place that's safe from those angles. You're going to force her out almost immediately. Obviously, this Cassidy's even throwing. You can even look for a sleep and get a quick pick here if you're looking for these flanks. But right here, it's like you're just trying to heal. Just play Kiriko if you're just going to try to heal. Like, if you're just going to sit there, heal your team the whole game, play Moira or Kiriko or Baptiste. See, bam, big sleep. You got the kill there. Cool. Immediately what I'm thinking, where is my team going? How can I take an off angle to pressure out this Pharah? When I'm playing against the Pharah, that's usually the name of the game. Usually. This whole thing where you're like scared about the backline, that Tracer can get packs, the Hog can vape. There's so many other things that can happen here that would just be better for your team. Like right here, you're effectively doing nothing. They don't need this. Now, if it was like a Reinhardt or maybe an Orisa, maybe you would need to do this. But the true value you get for your team in this compositional matchup is pressuring out this Pharah the whole game. Realize how much easier it is for your team to not... They're not even taking damage when that Pharah is not in the sky. The moment that Pharah got out of the sky, you didn't even force her out. I think it was your cast. But the moment she was out of the sky, you win the game. For free. For free. So then what I'm doing, now that we've won the point, I'm taking an angle that is realistically going to get me a lot of value here. It's really hard to find, but the angle to push here would honestly just be sitting here and shooting along this this sight line to try to force out that Pharah. You can also hear if she's coming this way, and you can then rotate over to white if you need to, so you don't get booped off. But like right here, realistically, they're going to walk down this straightaway. My team's not going to want to play to brawl the door. They want to take angles, surround them. I need to set myself up to do that. I don't need to play next to my Hog to help him with hook. I need to throw a nade. Like, I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? But sitting on point here, you're allowing that Zarya to walk on you. You're making it harder for you to find sightlines on this Pharah. You're not understanding what the job is that you need to do, though. And I think that's why you're staying on point so much. Once you really get that, the whole idea of like, okay, I need to be looking for aggressive opportunities. Opportunities is the key word, as Ana. Then it'll fix your whole entire mindset behind playing and your positioning, the way you use your abilities. It's so much easier. So honestly, right there, I wouldn't even have looked for a nade. I would have just looked to nano him if he was going to die there. Because they're using Grav. That would be a situation where I'm using nano to deactivate the Zarya's Grav. I'm using it to counter out one of her abilities, which is very strong because nano for Grav is a really good trade. You did win this fight still, though, so it wasn't necessary. But still, that's another thing I'm thinking about. I'm giving you a lot of information, but the main thing I wanted you to think about is always to constantly think about what your role is in the composition you are playing and against what they are playing. Like now they have a J Queen. I do not want to be sitting on point ever. Right here, they can walk on me. Right here, they have a lot harder of a time to walk on me. It looks very slight, but like here's the thing: if they walk to point, they can't really get to me up here. If they stage to walk over this way, in the time it takes for them to take this pink rotate, I'm going to take this blue rotate and just go to white. But when I'm on point, it's a straightaway. They don't have to worry about nothing. Super simple way to play this map, but it completely changes the game. So sure, you got a nade, but it's so much harder for you to find value against that Pharah. She's still letting it happen because, I mean, it's plat elo. It'll happen all the time. But it's just something you have to think about. And also, it's easier to force you out so you don't get any value in the mid fight here. Like, imagine if you were here and they didn't force you out. It's a free pick on Pharah. That's a 1v1 against a Lucio. You can probably win because you have nade. You know, there's a lot more opportunities to do something here than there is all the way back here where your sight line is completely diminished. So if I were to give you 3 things, number 1, think about your role that you need to fill and how all of the compositions together, like how are you going to complement your team the most? What is your role? Number 2, looking to just be more aggressive with anti-nades to get more, make more opportunities with it, because that's all Ana is just creating opportunities for her team. The last thing I would say, honestly, 1 and 2. I would say I would usually give people 3 things. Usually the third thing's Vaxta, but I just want you to think about number 2. I want you to think about number 1, number 2. What is my role here? How am I going to be aggressive with setting up opportunities? How am I going to be assertive? That is all you need to learn. I think once you fix those things, you'll be masters on Ana, because that is a very hard thing to learn. Luckily enough, we just did 2 weeks worth of Ana that you can see someone unranked to GM. You can watch someone that has used opportunities and the thought process behind it. You can think about it better, which will help you do more damage easier. That's one resource you can use. Also, the climb fast, the mistakes to avoid. All of that stuff helps you. It helps set a foundation for you so that you can focus on being proactive and getting your job done. Your role is to create opportunities for your team. If you sit in the back and you just heal them the whole game, you're not doing anything. You're doing nada, nothing, zilch. But now let's look at a player that's top 500. He's been top 500 for quite some time. Now that you're all here, we're going to look over Shocker's VOD. I think this might be Lifeweaver. I think this might be another Lifeweaver VOD, but let's find out. Another King's Row game. Cad Bane Ana.
Ready for battle.
Also, hello Havoc. Hello everyone else. Reminder, we are streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. Why is Hayden on DPS? Okay, so we're going to look at Ana. We're going to look at a player that has not the best Ana in the world, okay? I'm not going to dunk on Shocker too hard, but he is not the best Ana player in the world. Right off the bat, Shocker, it is clear that you're not thinking about what we just talked about. What is Ana's whole plan here? She wants to create opportunities for her team. Opportunities. You have to think about a position that against a common comp they may play, you are going to get consistent value. That is the whole idea. You're going to be able to create an opportunity for your team. How are you going to do that when you're sitting all the way back here? You're not going to be able to do nothing. You're not going to be able to do anything. You're going to do nothing. While as if we shift the focus to here, there's a lot more opportunities. There's a lot of options. You can literally just hide here the whole time. No one ever forces this. If they do, then now you take a 1v1 with a free nade. You need to hit 2 shots. Because if they commit dash to you, you have a better advantage to win that 1v1. You can also call for your Lucio that will likely be playing right here because you're playing a Mei Hanzo. The main idea is you stay up here. The Rhine walks in. You have a 5-man splash. You drop down into your team. You win the game. Like, Ana isn't that hard. It's just thinking before you happen. In Brawl Mirrors, I don't like height. Dude, in Brawl Mirrors, if you're going to play like this, if you're going to play Ana like this, Shocker, just play BAP. There's a reason your Ana may not be working. It's because you're not looking to make big plays. If you just sit here, the BAP's going to beat you every single time. He has more healing. He has more damage. He has immortality field. Because if I miss nade, it's over. You're playing Ana, buddy. That's how she works. If you miss nade, you lose the game. Welcome to Ana, buddy. This is my hell for the past 4 years. I'm just being honest. That's how Ana works in Brawl. If you miss the nade, you might as well have just played BAP. And that's why she's not good in Brawl. You might as well have just played Kiriko. You might as well have just played Moira, because why are you playing Ana? In Season 3, sure, you could play like this. It's fine. Now, Season 3 of Overwatch 1, by the way. Just wanted to get that out there. Season 3 of Overwatch 1, you could play like that. Overwatch 2, you can't wait. You can't let the game play you. Because you know that a Baptiste in this position is infinitely more powerful than an Ana in this position. Infinitely more powerful.
Attackers incoming.
So here's the thing. You play up here. Okay, cool. They have a Widow. Now I have to play like back here. Okay, their Widow goes over to the hotel. Okay, I'm going to play back here. Okay, their team's walking in. I go for nade. Oh, their widow now is on statue. Okay, I'm going to play right here. Okay, I'm going to play down here now. I'm forcing them to actually force me out in that situation. But if you play scared like you're going to miss an aid, dude, it's impossible to miss an aid. It's really hard to miss an aid at this level. If you're this level of player, it's really hard. The only thing you would mess up because you make a mistake on the logic end of things when you're doing nade like that. And like the other thing, okay, so you wanted to play high ground because your team realistically should be playing to poke because you have a Hanzo. Here's the thing. These flames, dude, then just leave because we're literally getting into it. We're talking right now about like, if you're going to play this way, then don't do it. This isn't flames. That's education. If you don't see that, then just leave. It's not going to help you. So the thing is, here's the thing. Now we play here because your Mei is going to play on the wall. Okay, that's fine. If you want to play here now to try to support your team, you're trying to make up for, you're trying to make up for the fact that your team's playing this composition wrong. You play in this hotel. Okay, that's fine. The thing is, now you're not, you played in the right position where you're going to look for a nade here. But then you backed up when you could have actually looked for it. So that's another mistake here. It's like we got scared that we were going to miss the nade, but it's like realistically here, we have to commit to hitting this nade because if we miss it, we might as well just play something else. And honestly, if you get even one person with nade, and you get one opportunity for your team, it doesn't matter. But you went away from the opportunity that you could have taken the nade, which is just you're playing too passively, quite frankly. Because now your Reinhardt's like, oh, I could make an opportunity here. But then, you know, he almost dies because of it. And now you use nade, it got no value because you set yourself up wrong because you were scared you were going to miss it. Then now you're essentially just playing BAP because you don't have anti-nade. He does more damage than you per shot. He does more healing than you per shot. Now you're essentially doing nothing. You have to invest to get that nade. You can't be scared you're going to miss it. The last thing you should be worried about is that you're going to miss a nade. So that fight, yeah, it was pretty ugly. You already told me that. Cool. Happens. This is a retake fight. Okay, let's see it. All right, so we're taking the retake. We're just trying to build nano. We have nano. You look for a big nade, you nano the Rhine. Shocker. When you create an opportunity that good, you got to take it. I think the problem you have here is that you're scared. The problem is like you don't play enough Ana, that you're not being assertive here. So this whole time, we could have just nanoed this whole time. We could have avoided the need to use beat here. We could have taken this fight. I understand that they just got the point, but it's like, if we win this fight, we then can set up here, and we then just have a free hold. You need to take advantage of this fight now. Ana's nano, there's no use in holding it. You just have to use it, especially when when someone is activated this hard to win a fight. This guy's expecting for you to nano him here. Homie's playing on his laptop, I'm pretty sure. Okay, that nade was a little bit preemptive. You want to make that was a little bit too early. That was a little bit too aggressive. But to be honest, you had no information that he was actually going to be there. Okay, so we're backing off because of that. But now is our time that we can Uno reverse card with our nano. So I want to look for that Uno reverse card now when this Rhine's getting pressured out. It was a little late, but decent idea. You're gonna start building today? Awesome, dude. You're gonna have a better PC than me, and I'm the streamer. So again, the whole idea here is we're not being assertive enough. We're not creating opportunities for our team. As much as the high-level players like to dog on me for saying, oh, this dude only coaches low-level players, high-level players still make this mistake that don't play these characters every single day. They don't create opportunities for the team. They forget the main idea of what they should be trying to do on the character, and they play scared. You can't do that. You got to look for aggressive antes, which I see that you're trying to do now. It seems like you're kind of warming up into the mindset as the game progresses. But it's the same thing with Nano. Someone's activated, get it. Because here's the thing. We got 15% all charge after we used Nano that fight. After. We could have been 60% right now on another Nano. It's kind of like Baptiste's window. You want to use that when there's an opportunity of value. No waiting. Unless the fight is 100% won. Okay, there's a big there's a big male. You want to make sure that you're keeping your team alive. Oh, wait. Your mate just got it deflected. Wow, that's tough. Let me take that back, because I thought I was like, I was a little confused there. I'm like, oh, that wasn't. They just switched to May apparently. No, she just got that deflected. Yeah, right here, honestly, tough. I think you were trying to nade the enemy Ryan there. That's what you should have gone for. I think that's what you were going for. Although I'm not entirely sure. I just want to make sure you were going for that, because that wins you the fight there if you hit an anti-nade. See, this is what I like. This is what I like. Because if we had nade now, when we build it, this is going to get value. This is going to set up my team to get aggressive and get the fight done. Splashing off your Rhine doesn't really work a whole lot unless he's literally right on top of the other one. Always try to splash the enemy Rhine, because then that's going to... the way your Rhine should posture off of it, he should be able to walk in afterwards. Try to look at their Rhine more than yours. That is something that might help you as well. But here's the thing. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for every time I'm playing Ana in Brawl. I'm telling my team, okay, guys, play on the corner. Tell me when they cross library. I'm going to play inside this building. I'm going to look for a 5-man splash, and then you guys are going to speed into me. You don't necessarily even need to tell higher level players that, because they should just know that they need to push off this. But in scrims, because I'm trying to help you more in terms of a scrim setting, that's how you're going to have to play Ana in these really high-risk compositions. Which, to be honest, knowing your strengths as a player, you're probably not going to play Ana in compositions like this. This is more so to help you if you're playing against someone that's an Ana one-trick like me. And the way that you beat an Ana one-trick like me that's going to play Ana into Brawl like this, you just send someone on flanks. You send someone to clear the angles, and then you'll get me every single time. But the thing is, my job is, I'm playing in the most unpredictable angles. There's like 4 angles I could play off of, right? I could play off this, and we could play for a really long fight. I could play off this high ground here. I could play off this low ground. I could play all the way over here. Hell, I could even hide in library if I wanted to. You got to clear all those angles. Sometimes that just takes a lot of time off the clock. You want to play more Ana with Miami? Also, I didn't tell you. Okay. See, bam. High ground and Brawl is the play sometimes. Oh, you're trying to ride Amazing out? That's going to be a huge buff. That's going to be a huge buff. Yeah, the healing there is good, though. But see how we took an aggressive angle with anti-nade, and we won a fight that we arguably should not have won because they invested Blade. Like, they invested stuff that realistically we shouldn't have won that. Also, hello, Astro. Welcome. Also, don't worry about the carbon guy, Astro. It was one flame to a friend that we've coached many times here. If you can't take a little bit of heat, don't come here. Because we're like probably the most tame coaching channel in Overwatch. I'm going to be honest. Ooh, almost got that. Okay, honestly, invest in 8 here. Yeah. You can be aggressive too. The problem is like, you're in your own head that you're not comfortable on this character, and it's causing you to be worse at them. That's how every character works in this game. You got to be confident in your abilities and just send it. Nice nade off the wall. See, like, that's good. The problem is like, a better Reinhardt's going to recognize the fact that you're going to go for that. So playing off height and stuff will help you in the long run. You don't have to flank all the time. What I'm saying is you got to set up those aggressive opportunities. Unprofessional delivery because I'm a friend with this guy. I can bust him a little bit more. There's context here that you might have just clicked in and just kind of missed it completely. But okay, your Ryan's gonna stage to play aggressive? I'm not sure. What? Okay, that's kind of not on you. That's kind of on your team. Yeah, the Junkrat just kind of did that. No, you're not getting roasted. I'm getting roasted. In YouTube comments. You're not playing aggressive enough as a flame? That's new. Hold up. Astro has a question from YouTube chat. Yes, you can splash off of this. Not the top. I don't think you can do the top, but you can use the sides. You can use the sides almost all the time. Do I really not mention that enough in my content? That you can use terrain to nade stuff? I need to say that more, I guess. I kind of thought that was just like given. But that's like something you should always think about. Yep. Okay, I like the idea though.
I see you.
Yeah, okay, that unranked... Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna lie. That unranked to GM, it was very long. It was 2 days, but it was very long. Okay. See, like, that right there, that's the way you have to play Ana in some capacity. You hung a little bit too far outside, but it is ladder. If you're gonna play for an aggressive play, understand that there's different ways you can go about doing that. Instead of, hey, team, look at me. You know? Because, like, it's a lot harder to see you come out like this instead of, wee. That's something Fozzic's taught? What, to just walk to speed? All right. I need more context then, because I was low-key reading chat.
I see you.
Okay. This isn't really like... Okay. This is right. This is a contenders. This is something that I learned in contenders level scrims. Like, this is fine to push the aggression here. I'm not saying that pushing the aggression is wrong. I'm just saying the way that you went about it was pretty unsafe. Like, all things considered. Like, if it were a different character, if there were more people up, this would be pretty unsafe. I'm just making sure you're aware, like, this aggression is good. The way you went about it, not the best. Because this was very... You hung yourself outside pretty hard. They could have dashed on you and maybe gotten a kill. Is my whole idea here. What I'm saying is if they... All this time that you were just kind of looming here and kind of doing nothing, we could have replaced that with rotating to the high ground. And then it's a lot easier to even press on their aggression from this angle down. And I understand it's ladder, and it's like, I don't know who Piercing is, but still, we don't necessarily need the Rhine if we just play high ground. So yeah, you got away with it. Honestly, I like it that it was an aggressive play. I think that the way we did it, the execution could have been better. Okay, see, now we're taking this high. We're not taking this high ground. Dude, take that high ground. And if they decide to get spicy, couldn't you anti them? Yeah, but the problem is then you're using your anti on a sole Genji as opposed to three members on the enemy team, and you have a chance of dying. It's just a lot safer to be on that high ground there. It's also a lot easier to hit a nade and make a play from this high ground when we have beat. They have Nanoblade. I want to take the aggression first. Like, here's the thing, right? And this is why I feel like you have to get this idea of Ana has to stack with her team out of your head. I'm not saying that this is always like what you want to do every single fight. Because if I did this, if I looked for a nade here every single fight, they're gonna send someone up here. But in their team comp, their Genji is so focused, and especially Hayden, because Hayden's a support player. He is so focused on, okay, this fight's Nanoblade. I gotta try to find that Lucio first. Lucio has beat. Lucio will be fine from Nanoblade. The main idea here is they're going to put all of their eggs in one basket. They are going to look to Nanoblade here. They're going to try to just win the fight off of that. Knowing that, I want to make the first move. Or I want to let them make the first move, commit the dash, and then look for the anti-nade. So for me to sit right here, it's just too passive. Because better teams are just going to walk into you. Notice that they have the better comp to just do damage over long fight. They're going to elongate the fight, and they're just going to win. As opposed to, okay, I'm playing right here. They're walking in. Okay, they Nanoblade. My Lucio beats. He now speeds away. Where's the Ana? That's supposed to be my dash reset. Where is she at? Splash. Their whole team is antied. The Zen pops Trank. You also force out Trank then. And then the Trank gets no value. And now this fight looks winnable almost. And then you don't have to invest Nano. Now or maybe you don't even need to invest Beat. Maybe you don't even need to invest Blizzard or Shatter. You now have that next fight. You countered 3 of their ults. This is one of those fights where it's like, they have Blade. I need to make a play. I need to make a play because we don't have a Blade of our own. The way that we're going to make a play to beat the Nanoblade is we're going to go first. Or we're going to wait until they get to a certain point, or then we will go first. That's the whole idea of the Ana here in Brawl. If I sit here and do nothing, they're going to walk all over me. I have to make a play. You opted to go on the low ground. And now look how easy it is for this guy to find you. Okay, cool. Your team walks in. But, like, I don't want to be that guy. But let's look at the Hayden Blade, bro. His idea was he was going to force out ults. But it's like, we have Nanoblade. It doesn't really matter. Like, that's our fight winner. This was just bad macro from his part. But it worked out for you. He also used Beat and Mayout, which we specifically wanted to avoid. You don't really need to Nano, though. You would need a Nano in a different situation. Okay? I mean, okay, yeah, sure. He doesn't have Nano. But it's like, if he's gonna... Here's the thing, right? If he's gonna dash up like this, and then dash there, there's no way he's asking, where's the Nano? He specifically wanted to get the Beat forced out. There's a lot of mistakes in this fight. The main idea I'm trying to get here is, a fight where you start up here and look for a nade is so much more efficient than a fight where you sit back and do nothing. That's what I want you to get out of this. Sometimes when it's pretty straightforward and it's like, oh, hit nade on Reinhardt. Cha-ching, great job. You're not a plat player. Like, good job, man. You looked for an aggressive nade that got value. In higher level plays, if you are going to force on it, you cannot play like that. It lasts 4 seconds, I think. Then I think it's 4 seconds of anti. You're actually gonna lose this fight still. Wow!
60 seconds remaining. We're outnumbered. Be careful.
All right, so let me sum this up for everyone that maybe isn't up to pace with how fast we're going through this VOD. Here's the thing, and this is for everyone. This is for TikTok. This is for everybody. When you were playing Ana in a Rhine v Rhine brawl matchup, let me reset. I have to burp now, of course. Okay. If you were playing Ana in a Rhine versus Rhine matchup, the last thing you want to do is play on the same level as both Reinhardts every single fight. The whole idea is you need to create opportunities for your team. You need to look for aggressive anti-nades. And an easier way to do that is to look some fights that are very crucial where they have like Nano Blade or other very strong win conditions. You need to look for a nade that is aggressive, that is outside of what they would normally think, to take advantage of the situation and to maybe salvage a fight where they have Nano Blade and you maybe don't even have beat. That is the whole idea. You're creating opportunities for your team. If you're not doing that and you're going to play in the same level as your Reinhardt, why are we not playing BAP? Why are we not playing Kiriko? Those are infinitely better supports for Brawl anyways. If you're going to look to force Ana, you got to look for anti-nades. That's the whole thing. That's what we learned from this VOD today. It's like if you're gonna force Ana, you have to get opportunities, and you have to think about how are you gonna get those opportunities consistently. We learned that twice today, actually. And honestly, Leo, people put way too much emphasis on sleep dart. The two things you got to worry about is like being aggressive, creating opportunities with honestly everything else other than sleep. Sleep dart is like, okay, I'm going to save my sleep to counter an ultimate. I'm going to sleep this person before they nano the Genji. Like that's where sleep goes to. If you're worried about hitting sleep darts, you're thinking about Ana wrong, in my opinion. Like, Sleep Dart is an ability that it can get deep, but it really ain't that deep. Like, you hit the dart, it cancels an ultimate. You hit a dart, it takes someone out of the fight. If you hit it great. That's not the main thing I like to focus on. Honestly, it's about nades, damage, and nano. That is what Ana is. Nades, damage, nano. But Nano is the culmination of everything in her kit. Arguably the hardest ability. Arguably the one ability that I think has the highest skill ceiling on Ana would be her Nano Boost. Okay, Astra, right? With Widowmaker, yeah. Okay. Good skin, by the way. I'm going to get water and perhaps take an allergy pill. Because my throat is terrible right now. We will be right back. In one moment. And then whoever else wants to go after Astro, just get your codes ready. We'll be right back. Alrighty, let's get into this. Sorry about that. Okay, we got Widowmaker. I'm gonna be honest with you, Astro. You know what Widowmaker's all about? I hope you practice your mechanics. I hope you hit the headshots. I hope you take them angles, bro. That is all this character is. Let's see how good your mechanics are. All right, we look for an early pick. Oh, missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. Okay, we drop off. Let's practice. Nice. There we go. That's good.
Thank you.
That's so cringe. Like, that's just how this character is, though. Honestly, after that pick... So here's the thing. I could make the joke of, okay, dude, practice your mechanics, bro. But the thing that's really going to help you is how are you going to help yourself get better picks? And how do you locate and isolate picks? So that is the whole idea here. Like, okay, I recognize that their Ana is out of position. I set myself up in a pretty easy position where she's not going to be able to see me. It's a pretty easy shot that I can line up, right? You want to get as many of those shots as possible. So the thing is, you need to also be unpredictable with the angles you're taking. There's a reason why the Kefri angles are isolate, as in like, okay, I've located a target. I'm going to get myself in a position where I will be able to give myself enough time to scope in, charge up my shot, and get the kill. I'm isolating that pick in that sense. In other games, it's like, okay, I flash grenade, he runs away. I flash grenade, he runs away into another room. I now have an angle with two of my teammates. He is now in Vault on Villa in Rainbow Six. We now both peek. That's really what isolating is. I just use the word isolate because it's like, I recognize they're in this position. This is where they can go. I need to set myself up in a position where I will be able to easily be able to shoot them, and it's not going to get me killed. I'm going to isolate that pick for me in that sense. It's not necessarily the same thing, but it's the first word that came to mind. That's your main goal. So every time in Widow, it's like, how can I get easy picks? How can I set myself up? And there's a reason why Kefri angles are a thing. Kefri angles are these weird ass positions that you'll get a nice little angle, and you'll get some crazy picks off of it because people don't realize you're there. But like right here, it's like, what realistically am I getting done here? I'm shooting their Zarya. Like, she shouldn't even be peeking me to begin with. A much better angle is like up here, or maybe you want to take a weird angle down here, not just kind of like sitting here. That's what our grapple is being used for when they don't have a Winston. When they have a Winston, I'm using my grapple to get away. But when they have something that's like not going to get on me realistically, I'm just getting off. Yep, so we got off that angle. We're retaking it, waiting for heals. Trying to get that Ana from back in spawn. Yep, that's fine. Honestly, I just think Widow's kind of mid on this point. So now that she's off that angle, we can take the high ground much more effectively. So yep, we're taking this angle. Nice. Okay, like that was a little bit... I feel like you can kind of tell, like, hey, you grappled into the ground, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, how am I going to be able to control space here? Realistically, they are just kind of walking into your LOS, but like we could kind of see you have a lot easier of a time seeing things here than you do like behind walls. What I was going to say is like, once you kill that Ashe, like, take this angle. Like, just look for a flank and really force them in a bad spot, because then there's nowhere for them to be safe. You really isolated them if you are able to take this spot once this Ashe is off this high ground, you know? Because now it's like they have to either walk into your team or walk into your LOS. Like, they just lose that. You could look for body shots and still win there. I feel like Widow is it's not all aim. Not gonna lie, the aim is really important, and quite frankly, you need a lot of good aim, like skill, to get stuff done. But it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Is that a bad peek? I feel like that is such a Kefri angle where... Okay. So, I want you to take two things out of this, right? So, Widow is all about getting picks where you're going to have good line of sight. The other thing is, it's like when you're playing with a brawly core like a Zarya, you also want to try when the map opens up a little bit more. Like, this choke is so hard to play, right? But the main idea is you want to play in a location that the enemy is going to be forced to brawl within your line of sight. So that is why I'm saying an angle like this is a little bit like, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but what if they come from the bottom two angles? Then we want to be more like right here so that they're constantly fighting within my LOS. I could just hit body shots for days and still win. You know what I'm saying? Because, like,
No one can hide.
I'm not going to
from
sugarcoat
my
it.
sight.
Widowmaker is almost all aim. Like, there's some macro to her kit, but at the end of the day, like, if you're not hitting headshots on Widow, you're not hitting shots on Widow, like, you're not getting your job done. So that's like 80% of her kit. The other 20% is like, how am I going to force them to brawl inside of my line of sight? Or if they're going dive, how can I maybe force them to respect my angle and force them to commit to me? And then I use my grapple to get away, so at least I force out their cooldowns. Oh, okay. So how do you force a brawl within your LOS? You have to think ahead. You have to think to yourself, it's partially on your team, but in a situation where like the cart, it's like overtime, or the cart is going to be pushing to the next checkpoint. Realistically, the fight has to happen here. It has to. There's no other possible place it could happen, or else the objective is cleared. So you have to think about it as in, where is the team likely going to actually take this next fight? And I need to set myself up to where this next fight's going to happen. So if I were to say the next place a fight's going to happen, right? En route. And this is why I really don't think Widow's good offense on this map. The fight's probably going to happen somewhere around here. And I'm thinking, like, realistically, what's your best option here? Like, is your best option probably just to go over here and take this angle and see if you can find any DPS that aren't looking at you? Probably. Because then the brawl is going to start forcing this way. And then we can start taking this angle better. Or maybe then after that, we can start rotating and look for another weird flank angle. Does that make sense as to how you force people to play into your LOS? Because here's the thing. The main idea, here's the thing. Let me ask you, how do you play against Widow? Like, what is the best counter to Widow? Is it a character, or is it how you play against a Widow? And I want to see what level you're on here so we can get on the same page. Crosshair placement is the best think to macro on Widow, I guess. I guess so, but it's realistically like it's setting yourself up in an effective LOS. But I like the Widow 1v1 because you have to still establish who gets to play the fight. In a Widow 1v1, it's just Widow versus Widow. The moment one Widow wins, the Widow that won has to think, okay, now I need to set myself up to actually get something done in this fight. Yeah, how would you play against it, Astro? Like, what's the best counter to Widow? Do you need to make her peek you? What if you just never peek to Widow? Who wins? You do, because the Widow can never shoot you. And that's how you're supposed to play against a Widow. You're supposed to play in places that she can't see you. So the whole idea is, if that's what they're going to look to do against you, what you need to do is think about how this fight's going to go, how your team is likely going to set you up, and posture yourself as the fight goes on to get in a position where you will be able to see them. The whole idea is, don't peek the Widow. You need to force them to play in a place that they have to see you. And the way you do that is it develops throughout the fight. So, like, here's the thing. If your whole team's going to play through here, the line of sight, it has to be somewhere in this square. This map isn't great for Widow. You're going to have to go here and probably look for some flank picks to get someone back here dead, and then look to get an angle this way. Realistically, it's kind of how you're going to have to play it. Luckily, they have a Widow that you can 1v1 and maybe get some value out of it. It's, again, it's not necessarily... You're getting there. Here's the thing. There's no problem that they can see you. It all depends on what they have. So if it's a brawl versus brawl, typically they're running characters like Mei and Cassidy. Widow's effective range is much longer than that of Cassidy. So realistically, you can still be seen by the enemy Cassidy, and it's not that big of a deal. The other thing is, he's going to have to walk through 3 people on your core. So, okay, let's shift the focus back because it's going to be easier to explain to you. This fight, let's say this is an overtime push. The cart hasn't opened this door yet. Let's say they have a Cassidy. Their Cassidy is walking with their team. Your team is this little blue like star thing. If you play in the yellow dot position, you are seen by that Cassidy at all times. He's not going to be able to kill you because you have a team to block you, and he'd have to walk closer to get to you. And if he wants to walk through this little corridor, you're just going to hook over here anyways. You can take this angle now because you know that's clear, and now you're still fighting in the LOS. I digress. It's not as much as see them, but they can't see you. It's not as much that. It's more so, where are they going to fight? If they have to fight here, if this is the area they have to control, you have to take an angle that is going to contest their control. You're not just going to give it to them, right? And it's variable depending on every map. But the whole idea is, think about, because I feel like you've played enough Overwatch where you generally know where fights are going to be taken. Most of the time. So we could even bring it a step further, right? We could bring it here. We know that if their Zarya's not playing top, their Zarya's probably going to be playing on here. And so is the rest of her team. Now, now the thing is, against what they might have, it changes things a little bit. Maybe they'll actually have something to contest you. Like maybe they have a Widow that's set up right here. Your first course of action is, okay, I got to find a way to 1v1 this Widow first, whether that be taking this yellow angle, or whether it be maybe using a Kefri angle and peeking here. Maybe you'll get a pick that way. But the bottom line is, this is the thing that's stopping me from getting a good angle. Now that I can get a good angle because that character is done, I take something here, and now they have to fight in my LOS. They either go in, they go out, or they lose. This map's really bad for Widow, to be honest, in my opinion. Maybe it is a good Widow map, and I'm just not good enough at her to really understand it. But yes, exactly. When you're... Okay, this is perfect. Widow is 80% aim. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The other 20%, it's like you are playing chess. It is, especially as Widow into Brawl, it is about where do you think the fight is going to take place and setting yourself up so that you have line of sight of that fight that is happening as long as possible, so that they have to always think about, that Widow's right there, I can't play here, or okay, that Widow's looking at me, better make this fight fast. You always want to brawl in the LOS of the fight and in a safe environment. That is how it works. And there are ways to kind of go about doing that. Sometimes there's more steps than others. If they have like a Cassidy Mei, you can pretty much take whatever angle you want depending on the situation. When they have a double sniper composition, they're gunning for you a little bit. But because they're gunning for you a little bit, your team doesn't have as much pressure because the Mei's going to pressure your tank more. Now it's just like, okay, now they're Widow and Hanzo, they're playing to pressure me out. So you have step 1, kill the Widow. Okay, cool. Their Hanzo just used Storm Arrow up front. I can take this angle right here. He can't shoot me. All right, now I can take this angle after he put a sonar on my team. He's not looking at me. Bam, take that one out. All right, now it's a 3v5. Bam, 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 bam. Body shot on this tank if I absolutely need to, and we won the fight. It's about shifting the line of sight so your team is constantly brawling in LOS. Back in the day when Widow was really, really strong in Overwatch 1 and she was played on virtually every single map and ladder, it was always, even if we would lock brawl, a calm I would make, which when I was trying to win, would be, okay, guys, make sure we're like, look at Widow's LOS, brawl on Widow's LOS, especially on Anubis. Brawl on point, playing Widow's LOS, she will naturally just get picks as the fight goes on. That's that extra 100 burst damage. It's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And that was a dab from Stob, so I'm not that cringe. Do you have any questions, Astro? Because I feel like I'm going to overload you. But, okay, maybe if we go from third-person perspective.
Bob, do something.
It's like, realistically, you don't have this whole line of sight. But it's like, why is Widow really good on maps with long sight lines? Because it's a lot easier to get LOS of the fight. I'm not dehydrated. I have allergies right now. My throat is like super itchy. I hate it. So you finally opt to take this high ground angle.
Unstoppable.
That's just mechanics. Peaking on 75 health is, that's not the best idea I've seen all day.
I'm taking the payload.
Get in there, Bob.
Yo, we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, baby! Yo, George, I hope you had a fantastic stream. I was watching you earlier. Hello and welcome, everybody. We are doing Free VOD Friday. If you have any VODs that you want me to review, please send them my way. We are also streaming on YouTube as well as Twitch. Georgia, I hope you had a fantastic Mythical Friday. We are watching VODs, baby.
There is no time. We attack now.
George, if you have a VOD that you want me to watch too, I would be more than willing to do so. I hope you guys had a great stream, though. Because this one, we're just kind of like letting it play out. Don't forget to download Siege. We're going to play tomorrow, right? Stobbs asks, Paz, how do I actually improve in Overwatch? I have a general idea of what my character does and how I should play into certain heroes, but I think I still lack the fundamentals. So, like, here's the thing, right? Let's just have a complete shift. Let's not. Because I need a draw. Do I need a draw? I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I've been playing a lot of Siege lately, right? And this is why I kind of want to start streaming it more, because I feel like it could be educational. The reality of playing games, right? And how you improve. And we can get into why you actually popped off, Astro, because I think it would actually develop your understanding. So we'll move that. The reason why I've been playing a lot of Siege and why I've been playing a lot of games other than Overwatch is because, quite frankly, I am struggling on what I am supposed to teach you guys in this game at this point. Because it feels like I've taught... What the heck just happened? That was so laggy. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I've taught you a lot of the things that I can. I've taught you how to be aggressive with Ana. I've taught you how to play every support character to a high level. And a lot of you are like high plat, low diamond. And honestly, that means I've done my job, right? I've helped you guys get to a point where you're starting to understand higher level stuff. The reason why I've been playing Siege a lot recently is because, and a lot of other games, like I played Rocket League, like, what was it? Like January I was playing Rocket League a lot, and I climbed in that too. I'm trying to figure out exactly what is it about games where there's something that all of them together have in common about this improvement process, and what I'm practicing in those games, and what's really the most important. Thank you, B-Dog. I'm really... What are the shared characteristics here that really makes a great player in all of those games? And what I've learned, Stob, is that, to be quite honest with you, especially with Rainbow, you have to adopt this mindset that you're not going to get your goal right away. And I know that seems like, oh, Paz, I know that. The reality of it is like, in Siege, I want to be like Diamond, right? That's like Grandmaster. Am I lagging? Why is this shit lagging so hard? Why am I on 14 FPS? Are we good now? Why is it dumpstering so hard?
Ready for battle.
Are we good now? Okay. I don't know how much of my spiel you've heard, but the main idea is the thing that every game has in common is that it's going to take a while to climb. Your goal doesn't just come overnight. And I know that sounds really simple, but it's like, I wanted to be Diamond, which is like top 1% of players. I still want to be in Siege. Realistically, that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen right away, especially when I don't have like an actual coach. I don't have the aim skill. I've played Siege a while. I used to be plat back in the day, which was like diamond level of this game. That's not going to happen right away. Realistically, you have to... The way that you're going to improve at Overwatch, every single game that I played, when I truly started to rank up and I started to get really good, it really is, damn, I just lost this game. It was really close. I thought I did really well, but I feel like I could have done more. I need to go back in the VOD and need to watch it. Every single time. The first time I did that, actually, I went from, like, in Siege, it was like the equivalent of going to, like, plat to diamond in a day. Just by looking at one of my own VODs and really trying to get an understanding of what other people were doing and be critical of myself. And the thing that I literally DM'd my... The other things that... I DM'd Magi. I was like, peak angles, ADS, don't just look at them because people play like rats. And the other one was roaming areas that I need to roaming areas so that I can control the map and I'm not just roaming to get kills. And thinking deeper of why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why am I playing the way that I am? It's those things that really make you improve at a game. The way that you improve at Overwatch it comes down to practice and being really critical of your own gameplay. And to be honest, it depends on your problem. So like in Siege, I feel like my aim it's okay. It's better than most of the people at my rank. Because I mean, I used to be an FPS player. Like I played Overwatch. Obviously my aim is going to be a little bit better when I played professional for like a few months. In scrims at least. Obviously my aim's going to be good. In that game, my game sense was lacking. It's like, okay, why is there a role that roams? What is my job on this role? My job is to waste time, probably. It's not just to get kills. Because at the end of the day, when you kill someone, you're just wasting more time for them. They're going to have to take more time to take more map control. Because that's realistically what the game is about. I'm roaming so that I waste their time so that when the time comes that they need to go to site, if I'm still alive, that pressure is also still there because I'm still controlling that side of the map. They're going to be focusing on way too many things. It's going to make their attack just so much more weak. A lot weaker, sorry. That is the whole idea. With Rocket League, it's a lot more mechanical. It's a lot of, okay, I need to hit the ball, right? That's what I need to focus on. That's what I focused on the whole entire time. But then you have to think deeper. You have to look in the VOD and really see, okay, how could I have actually reacted better? Like how could I think through this? And when I'm playing Rocket League, I don't just have to see ball, hit ball. I need to look at the ball, see where it's moving, how it's curving, where the other people are, and I need to see where that situation might be going in around 3 to 4 seconds. And I need to position myself to where I think the ball is going, not where the ball is now. I need to, and every single game that I've played and I've gotten a lot better at, it's about thinking about that bigger picture. So you might have the fundamentals, but the problem is, and why you might be thinking like, oh, I feel like I have the fundamentals, but it's just not clicking. Like it's just not applying. You have to think about why the fundamentals are the fundamentals, why they're important, and how you can set yourself up to actually get something done. With Overwatch, it's like, this is what my team is playing. This is what they're going to try to do to win. This is what the enemy's going to do. This is how they're going to try to win. And how can I just mash that all together to create a playstyle that's going to get the job done for me? That is like how you truly win and get really good at Overwatch. I don't give that advice to everyone because, quite frankly, if you're in Plat and you're in Diamond, your fundamentals are still lacking. Like, you're still not hitting good nades. You're still not hitting good like damage and sleeps. You're still not getting the basics of the kit down. I don't know if that even answers your question, though. Slick said, I walked by an apartment ground floor window with a guy playing Valorant, and I had an intrusive thought on banging on the glass and demanding what his rank was while he was mid-round. I don't know. You say you have the basics, but you lack fundamentals, but those are the same things. And at this point, truly, I cannot help you specifically until I get an actual VOD from you. And it is free VOD Friday. It's about being critical about your own gameplay and falling in love with the process. Because what value does GM hold if you can get GM in a day? That's why I really don't like this system. Oh, a lot more players are GM. A lot more players are happy about themselves. Are they? If I can get GM easier now, what's the weight of GM? Why does it feel good to be a GM player? Oh, cool. I'm a top 50 player last season. I'm a top 70 player last season. I haven't played in years competitively. Do I feel good about being top 70 now? No. Because all the good players are leaving. Or they're not playing ranked anymore. Or they're just scrimming now. It lacks value, right? So, the other thing is, if it's taking time for you, that is a good thing. This means that you're growing as a player, you're growing as a person, and you're starting to understand more. So if I were to really... If I were to really say, how do you improve at something? you slow down, you get critical, and you trust the process. It's not going to happen in a day. The reason why a lot of the players climb really fast when they come across my content is because I can teach you the basics you need to hear. You need to look for nade. You need to look to be more aggressive. Cool. Now you have that. They hit masters or they hit like mid diamond and all of a sudden they're stuck because they need something different. They need a higher level. Like you need to think about the situation, how you're going to react to it. And like, I want to make a video about it, but the problem is if you think about like higher level concepts like that and you don't have the fundamentals of the game, it's like you actually hurt yourself because you're in an elo where playing with those high fundamentals actually hurts you. So it's just it's just a shit show, for lack of a better term. Excuse me. Diamond 3 support. This will likely be the last VOD of the day because I am tired. My throat is dying. Okay. Diamond 3 support. What support were you playing? Max. Probably Brig. Because it's max 360. That makes some sense. Why do you guys play Brig on Junkertown? Why do you play Brig on Junkertown? Okay. So I'm gonna take you guys through a VOD review. If I were at your level, what I would think about, right? So if I'm a Brig player and I've been Diamond for a few seasons, I feel like I deserve this rank. And I'm really wondering why I might have lost this game, even though I feel like people are rough. I would first ask myself, what is my job as Brig? If I've never answered that question before, what is my job as Brig, Max? Have you ever answered that question before? What is your job? What truly should you be doing as Brig? At the very fundamental core of this character, what does Brig do? What is my number one goal? I'm curious as to what you think about. If you need help, let me know. Excuse me. Wow. Do damage and heal. How do you heal? How does Brig do her healing? Again, if you need, it's really not a trick question. If you're a Diamond 3 Brig player, I feel like you know this on God. Yes, correct. Correct. So you know this. Okay. So I'm sitting here. I'm thinking, okay, my job as Brig is to proc inspire, essentially do damage as much as possible to heal. That is my job on Brig. It is to get my Inspire uptime up in this composition. I don't have anything that I have to necessarily peel for. To be honest, I don't really have anything. All my job is I need to heal my team with my Inspire. And I need to proc it as much as possible here. Now, here's the next thing. Most of the time, higher level content creators, if I were a diamond in this situation, are always like, man, like Junkertown, that's such a Widow map. This is such a like a Zen map. This is such a Hanzo map. I hate Junkertown. I hate Circuit. Instead of just memorizing, okay, don't play Brig on Junkertown. Don't play Brig on Junkertown. Wow. Don't play Brig on Junkertown. Don't play Brig on Junkertown because why? If you can't answer that question, you really have to think about it. Why are specific characters played here? And really understand it, because if you don't understand it, you're playing wrong. You're just, it's like, okay, like, I'm going, if, like a baseball reference, if there's a man on first, and it's a ground ball to shortstop, I'm just going to throw it to second base, and then throw it to first base. Because why? Or it's like, let's say there's a runner on first base and third base. I'm going to send the runner from first to second no matter what. Just to steal, no matter what. Why? Why would you do that? If you just send it every single time, you're not going to understand the context when there's different situations that come up. Even if it's basic, right? Because if the catcher in a lower level game with a bunch of kids tries to throw out the kid that's stealing second, the guy from third just gets to steal home for free. That's why that happens. But if I just run with my chicken, if I run like a chicken with a head cut off, I'm not going to get any value out of what I'm doing. So, okay, I don't want to play Brig on Junkertown because my job is to proc Inspire and do damage as much as possible. How do I do my damage? I need to be somewhat close to my enemy. Okay, first point Brig then maybe isn't the best choice. But if this is the way I'm going to play Brig, I better see you play aggressively and see for you to actually get value out of this character, even though it's not, the odds are not in your favor. Because if you don't play to the fundamentals like that, which you know, you're going to have problems. You could play Brig second point. You could, realistically, dude, you can play a character on any point you want. Sometimes it's going to be more effective than others, but at the end of the day, you really need to understand. You need to think about what your job is and actually deliver. Just don't promote the memorization of things. Understand things. Because why? So cool, yeah. This is good. We're pressuring him out. Honestly, this is a little bit too far. Because here's the thing, right? We already procced the Inspire. We don't need to kill ourselves for it. It lasts for a few seconds. We need to make sure that we're not just complete gung-ho about it, especially if we're running a SIG. Sometimes you can just hit him once and leave, especially when they have a Moira. Because right here, it's like, really, what's my job? Am I going to kill this Rhino on my own? No. All I need to do is get my Inspire up. So this is how you make Brig work. Artemis, we are still doing VODs. This might be my last one, though. I'm not sure. Okay, no, he doesn't necessarily have to run for flanks because there's a Rhino in the front line. The way you're playing it, though, you're focusing more on the damage part of the thing instead of, okay, I need to just inspire my team and make sure I live. And support my Reaper when he flanks. And it's realistic with my packs. It's realistically what you're trying to do here. Because you're not going to kill the Rhino with the Moira. Like, you could flank maybe with your Reaper. But the whole idea here is, like, you're playing Brig on Junkertown. If you're doing your fundamental theory behind the character, and you're really, and you tried everything you possibly could, that should be an indication to you, like, okay, maybe it's time for me to switch. Maybe Brig wasn't a good idea here. Overall, though, you're playing Brig, I guess, correctly given the situation. Just that Brig here is not a good pick. I don't agree with you sitting on cart, though. I honestly think you should sit in a corner and just get ready to start swinging with rally. But this is also a play to take if you knew they had co. Honestly, though, like, this break gameplay isn't that bad. This doesn't really look like Diamond Brig gameplay.
Were you taking me seriously?
It's just that you're playing Brig on Junkertown. Like, you should really never do that. Right here, you also have to understand that, like, the third job as Brig is to stay alive, because that will let you do the healing more. So, like, you're aggressive on Brig, which is good. You're a little too aggressive. You also want to make sure your damage is actually effective and you're not just giving them their supports ult charge when you already have ult. Honestly, I think you go for the... you don't need to go for a rally. He's just going to let you kill him. Mechanics could have been better there.
Mace to the face. You won't be disappointed. What's up?
Accepting a number of circumstances, of course.
I feel like we both know that this wasn't a good play. He said sorry. I feel like we just both know. You wanted to show off a little bit. I mean, if he hit it, it doesn't even provide any value for his team. That's the problem here. That's a good tailor of your aggression. It's just like, you never really want to swing a Rhine unless your team is ready to fight with you. If I were to give you any advice, realistically, I would focus more on how you can tailor your aggression so that it's at the right times and it's actually being effective and you're creating an opportunity for your team to do something with it. Because to just walk in and do only damage, like, sure, Awkward just released his unranked GM Brig. I didn't watch it. Damage is the way to do it. At the same time, though, you're not just going to kill a Rhine. Like, the damage has to be effective against something. So, damn, am I on a... Yeah. And on a map like this, like, good luck. Good luck on Brig, because it's not easy. You're going to have to play off your team really hard. And I mean, a way that you could have played the aggression better is, like, wait to see where your Reaper is flanking and then try to create Inspire for him as he's going for a duel. Give him packs as he's going for a duel. And try to set people up with your damage, not just do damage. So what would help you the most is thinking why your damage is useful. Thinking what kind of damage do you need to be doing. And look for the moments in which you can look to do damage that is important instead of just doing damage. Awkward says damage because people never look to do damage. That's why he says it. What he means is do damage that's actually meaningful. Look for opportunities to make meaningful damage, and there's a lot of opportunities to do that. Your problem is you're doing a lot of damage, right? You're swinging it all into a Reinhardt that's getting pocketed by a Moira. It's not doing anything. At least you're setting up Inspire, which is one of your jobs, which, okay, cool. You can hit the Reinhardt and then run away. You don't need to commit to it until he starts committing on you, because then you don't have a way out. You know? Distraction damage, not even, because better players are just going to kill you. They're not going to worry about the damage you're doing. They're just going to kill you and you'll be done with it. Realistically, you have to look about, when am I doing meaningful damage? Do I already have Rally? Do they not have Cole yet? Why am I doing damage now? I'm just going to give them Cole, you know? It's very dependent on the team, but at the end of the day, you're playing Brig on Junkertown. I feel like if you keep playing Brig on maps that are better for Brig, you'll probably have an easier time climbing. Hell, you probably even won this game. Yeah. Yeah, you sent me a game that was a complete steamroll. It's not necessarily the best VOD of all time. Next time, try to send VODs that are, like, close, too. Because you're playing a character that's bad and you're getting away with it because, well, you're playing the character pretty well. There's not really a whole lot for you to learn. They're not forcing you. I would just say... Okay, yeah, but Brig's the one creating space? I mean, I guess she could. But it's like... You would just have a better time doing that on literally any other character. There's other ways that are alternative to play Brig in a more correct manner that I think would be better. So before we close stream, Vance from YouTube, what rank are you on DPS? Because I might be able to fit in a quick VOD before I get off. Oh, I thought when you said you do DPS... Oh. Oh, I thought you said you wanted to do your DPS VODs. Oh, okay. You don't have a code. All right, understood. Next Friday, though, I'm more than happy to do that. Artemis, if you have a code, Twitch chat. If anyone else has a code that hasn't got one already, I'd be more than willing. If not, I'm either going to go play Rainbow and stream it. Okay, you already have a code. Cool. This one's going to be pretty fast, though, because I am already tired. Can I send VOD? Shit. Okay, yeah. You know what? We'll go till 4 today. Wait a minute. Oh, just kidding. I thought someone from chat played with you on an enemy team. That would have been trippy. All right, what's your name? Artemis, obviously. Oh, you said you're a low-level support? If you were a Kiriko player, there's one thing I want you to take from this VOD today, okay? Suzu. Only when someone is in active danger and needs it or else they're going to die. Never Suzu when you could just heal through it. The number one thing is, are they critical? Are they in active danger? Or could I heal them through it? If they need it, if they need the Suzu, because if they do not get the Suzu, they will die, you Suzu. If they are critical and you can heal through it, then you Suzu. You do not Suzu. If you can heal through it, do not Suzu. Do not waste Suzu like this when your Mei is in cryo. You fix that, you're 5 stars golden. Next stream for VODs, it's every Friday at 2 p.m. is what I try to do. Stop exposing yourself so much. Don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't Suzu there. Why are you Suzuing? You're behind a corner. Stop being scared and Suzuing yourself. Know what I'm saying? Because now you don't have Suzu for the 2 people that are dumb and peeking a Bastion. That's an aim moment. You get better at time. Artemis is a dope name, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me balance you out.
I might name my next account Demus or Damus. Read the situation. My Orisa has gold and is above half HP. Nothing is killing an Orisa in gold.
This is a certified hood classic.
Thank you for the certified hood classic, Artemis. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's like you just be saying stuff in chat nowadays.
Like a gentle rain. Restoring balance.
Awkward unranked to GM. I cannot endorse that because, look, guys, I understand a lot of you are awkward fans. A lot of you are awkward haters. Here's what I'm going to say about awkward. Do you have awkward aim? Realistically, you could be doing more damage here. And you could look for more pick potential. But you're not at a level where you need to think about damage. The whole idea is that... okay, look, dude. I don't know what rank you are. So I'm not going to draw any assumptions here. But if you are not a GM Widow player, I'm sorry, you do not have awkward aim. You just don't. I'm sorry. You just don't. Okay, so GM3, all right, cool. You might have awkward aim. But you are not the normal person from this YouTube channel. Just so you know, Vance. Most of us are support players. We do not have GM pro level aim for support. We just don't. We just don't. And honestly, I'm not going to ego you, but this is awkward. This guy was a Contenders player when Contenders meant something. This dude has been top 10 for a long time. I would argue even you and I don't have awkward aim. I know I don't. And I'm a GM 3 DPS player, GM 1 DPS player. I don't have awkward aim. But what I'm saying is, with Kiriko, sure, could Artemis here be doing more damage? Yes. You could look to throw in 1 or 2 kunais to maybe get picks. But the fundamentals are being lost here, which is far more important for your long-term growth. You need to be looking to make sure that your Suzu is actually getting value when someone actually needs it. Not when you're wasting Suzu a lot because they're not in threat. There's no threat. There's danger that's coming their way. There's no threat to their death. You could heal through that. That's much more important for this person to learn because they're missing that right now. That's the thing. To say, just watch Awkward do more damage, lol. That's where fundamentally I disagree with the way Awkward coaches because he focuses on, lol, dude, just like do damage, bro. That's why you're losing. Which, like, yes, that's true. You can carry with aim and stuff. But that just, it just doesn't work. My counter argument is not that my counter argument is everyone should not watch Awkwards. You should watch Awkwards if you have the fundamentals ready and you can actually learn from it. Because some of Awkward stuff, you can watch it and you can get completely led astray and you will stay plat because you are not Awkward. You do not have Awkward aim. I'm just being honest. I haven't watched all of his stuff, though, so I can't just completely say no to it. Like, obviously, the dude makes good stuff. But, he is a Contenders player. I am a, like, Contenders Trials player that scrimmed Contenders. For me to just tell you, hey, dude, just do damage, lol. I don't know. That's what people tell me. People have come to me and DM'd me and said, yeah, awkward stuff. Most of it's just like, lol, dude, just do damage. Which is true. That's how you carry. But that's damaging to some players because then they literally think that it's just damage. You and I, Vance, we understand that there's a lot more to this game than just do damage, lol. But some support players just, they don't get that. They don't get that there's Suzu. They don't get that there's healing that needs to be done. This is how you use the other abilities while you do the damage because that's how you truly carry. Because if you just use your abilities, you're not going to carry. You'll get better. You'll improve. You'll win more games. But you're not going to win every single game if you're not always doing damage. Yes. Awkward is... If it were up to me, I would say Awkward is someone that you should watch when you're at least Diamond or like low Masters level. Then you should watch Awkward. That is what I believe. The problem is, a lot of low-level players see, oh, cool, unranked to GM. If I just do the same thing this guy does, I'll be GM. It's not how it works. Slow down. Get the fundamentals. Then talk to Awkward. Then get the VOD review with me. We can talk about the higher level, more fruitful parts that you can add that little bit more value into the gameplay. I'm not trying to flame you for your suggestion. If you're trying to carry, you should play for yourself. Yes. But playing for yourself does not mean it's a difference in play style. I'm going to be honest. My thing is you cannot tell someone to play for themselves all of the time because it at the end of the day, it always comes down to the situation and the player really has to think about how they need to play. It's so much deeper than something I can tell you in 10 seconds. It's so much deeper than something I can tell you in 10 seconds. Which is why I really dislike the blanket statements, but the problem is people want the blanket statements. And I'm sorry that we're going through this whole discussion while your VOD is on, Artemis. But the whole idea is, what I want a lot of lower level players to understand is avoid the blanket statement videos. Avoid the just do this, here's one tip and just do that one tip and you'll win. That stuff is not true. It's just not. Because those tips assume that you already have a huge fruitful base of knowledge that you just don't have. Well, hello, Intrex. So, Artemis, just to get this back to you. Could you be doing more damage? Absolutely. Could you be setting to play for yourself more? Absolutely. But you're not a player that's like... You're not a player that has this crazy aim. You're a player that realistically, like, okay, I could see, like, yeah, you could hold your own in gold. And this is not a roast. This is just the reality of the situation. You have to accept that. Like, what I would focus for you is focus on the fundamentals of Kiriko and what makes Kiriko Kiriko. Suzu is very strong. You cannot waste that ability. It's just like Immortality Field. You need to make sure you're using it when someone's actually going to die. Or when someone needs to be aggressive after they've already pushed. You know? That's what you need to focus on. You don't need to focus on, oh, well, you could just do more damage. Just kill more. Just play for yourself, dude. Just hit 2 shots. That's how you carry, bro. Just use Suzu on yourself. Do damage. Yeah, bro. It's like this logic cannot keep being used everywhere in the world. And I don't want to get political, but it's like solutions cannot be like, oh, well, gun problem, everyone has guns, or gun problem, no one has guns. Like, that's the reality of the situation is, like, in a perfect world, like, sure, everyone can aim like Awkward. Sure, everyone can have a gun. But it's like everyone cannot have a gun. So I'm not even taking any side on this political debate. I'm just making it so you understand it more, because everyone understands the gun debate in America. Blanket statements with, and just those alone, they help nobody. Okay, maybe some people they help, but for the most part, it helps nobody. And I don't want to get political. I don't even want to say my beliefs, because this is an Overwatch channel. But I hope that makes some kind of sense. The blanket statements, they don't promote understanding. And to truly improve at something, you need to promote understanding. The quick way, the get-rich-quick schemes, the rank up fast, the unranked to GM. No, that doesn't help you. I've done unranked to GMs because it's a way that, okay, I've done all this for you. In every single unranked to GM, the reason I say this at the start is, hey, watch these videos first before you watch the unranked to GM. Do all of this so you have the understanding, and then watch this stuff. I know that you guys want to get rich quick stream, or the get rich quick scheme. I know you guys want that, but it just doesn't work. No, Vance. Trust me, dude. You are not triggering me. The problem is I'm trying to... Here's the thing. In the past 3 months alone, this awkward guy has gotten so much attention, and I've gotten so many questions from this guy. Somebody, watch this guy. Don't watch this guy. Do this. Do that. Ugh. That it's like I need to figure out a way to articulate my thoughts to you guys before I make a video about this, because this is volatile stuff. If I say something and I just completely dog on this guy or completely praise this guy, I'm going to get dogged on. Like, I need to talk with you guys about this so I truly understand what it is you guys are trying to gain from this. So this isn't me, like, you're not triggering me. You're intrigued. Your comments are intriguing. They're adding to the content of the stream. And I'm not saying don't watch Awkward, but I'm not saying just watch Awkward. I'm not saying don't watch me. I'm not saying just watch me. I'm not saying any of that. I need to find a way to articulate my point, as there's... the bigger picture has to be understood. Yeah, there's just so many things that go into this game. This game is so situational that you cannot ask just one question. And that's why content is like, it's helpful, but it's not. In a game like Rainbow Six Siege, you can give me one tip, and no matter what, for the most part, that tip is going to help me so much, because the game is not, like, it's complicated at the higher levels, but it's not complicated to the level of this game. A game like this, that's this complicated, that one misstep is going to make all the difference, even in low elos. So many things could go wrong. And I'm sure Siege is like that in higher levels, but from my understanding, it's a lot easier to digest what's going on. Slick, you are something else. So, like, my whole thing, right? And this is educational content with every single game. This is even true about myself. Is take every piece of advice you get about Overwatch with a grain of salt. This game is incredibly situational, and any one character or one step you take in a wrong direction is going to change the course of the game drastically. Take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not saying you should watch Awkward or you should not watch Awkward. I'm not saying you should watch me or you shouldn't watch me. What I'm saying is, make sure you're always asking questions. Do not promote memorization. Promote understanding, because that is how you improve. That is my end all be all. Every person is different. Every person struggles with different things, and you have to be true with yourself. Trust the process. Understand that improvement's going to take a very long time, and you will get there. It is a given that you will get there if you put the work in. That is a fact. That is the one factual statement I can give you. Vance, though, good comments. You get the gold star of the day. Very good comments in YouTube. Artemis. Like I said, the Suzu usage is the main thing you got to worry about. The other thing I want to make sure that you're worrying about, so long as you're still here, make sure that you're actually guiding your heal, like your healing is actually on someone's like target, because sometimes you're actually losing heals because you're here, let me show you. The problem is that you're not actually giving heals to people because you think it's like a Moira kind of spread. It's not that as forgiving as you guys think. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty forgiving. Not as forgiving as you think. So we'll do this, then we're gonna do the Stobbs VOD because I told you I was going to. And then we'll look at. So like, see, this isn't actually gonna heal them. This does seem like pretty hard to hit, but like at the end of the day, it is pretty forgiving. You got to make sure at least somewhat close to them. So make sure you're also actually tracking them as well. So you don't have to necessarily hit them, but you want to make sure you're at least somewhat close because you're missing out on a lot of heals too. Which might be another reason why you're using your Suzu a lot when you don't actually need to, because you're not actually hitting heals that you should be hitting. So number one, don't waste Suzu. Number two, make sure you're tracking that teammate effectively and you're actually healing them. Number three, maybe go into some Vaxta, some aim training, VAXTA. Just mess around with Kiriko. Try to get better at her aim. I'm not the best Kiriko player in the world, but the fundamentals are what's going to set you up for long-term success. I'm being genuine with that, Vance. Those are good comments, and it's going to help me because I have a content idea that I want to do, but I've wanted to do for quite some time. I just haven't gotten to it. But those are the two things I would focus if I were you. Just do not waste Suzu. It's going to take you a lot of time to get better at it. But watch my Kiriko guide and my Baptiste guide if you're struggling with that. All right, Stobbs. Okay.
Ready for battle.
Stobbs. I have a question. I have a question for you because you're trying to get bigger picture. What should you do against this comp? What should you do with your comp? Let's slow it down. Stobbs, what does your comp want to do? What is the main idea of Junker Queen? No problem, Artemis. Okay. Junker Queen. I'm going to narrate you through this because I think you're jumping the gun a little bit too much. I want you to slow this down, like really slow down. Really slow down. Everyone in chat, slow down. Don't make assumptions. Think about this as an algebraic equation. Make sure you take it one step at a time, okay? Junker Queen. She excels at very short range. And Junker Queen, if that's the case, she wants to brawl. She wants to get very close. She wants to close the distance. She wants to finish fights quickly. That is the main idea of Junker Queen comp. She wants to run on things close. Their team, they have a pharmacy and Ana. Their team, they want to slow things down. They want to elongate the fight as long as possible and just melt you down slow, very, very slowly. Very, very methodical. By the end of like 20 seconds, you're going to be super low and your Ryan can just clean up. They want to make the fight slow. They want to play far away from you. As Lucio, how am I going to play to my strengths while eliminating their strengths? I don't have a hit scan. That Pharah's going to do whatever she wants. Is what should happen, but it's ranked. So as Lucio, my job is, I don't give a crap about this pharmacy. I need to get on this Ana. I need to get on this Rhine. I need to get my Junker Queen there No time to waste. No poke to be taken. Speed boost in. We kill these things fast. Next, next, next until the pharmacy is the last one and we're done. Small window of opportunity. That is how you can think through the situation, through every VOD review you do, to gain a better understanding of what you should actually be doing in the game, because you're at a level in which that's what you need to do. Understand that that's not hard. Like, okay, Junker Queen want to get close. She want to do close range damage. I help her do that by making her faster to get there. That's pretty simple. That's like caveman easy, right? Farah wants to be far in the sky, very far away. Do lots of splash damage over time. Oh, okay. Ignore Farah. I'm not going to get to her. Kill everything else on the ground first. Not give her as much time. Poggers. That's how you do it. It's not that difficult. You just have to slow things down. Instead of going from letter A to letter Z, when you're just starting to really get a good understanding of this game, be like, oh, like, okay, here's the thing. The Tracer, she's going to be versatile. She's going to do whatever she wants. She could pressure out this Farah or whatever. Realistically, though, the reason why I'm saying this is your Junker Queen is the backbone of your comp. The Tracer can be versatile, and realistically, all of the time, the way I define tempo is usually by whatever the tank is. Usually. If the tank is someone that can be versatile in the way they want to play speed, like a Reinhardt, I'm usually looking at other things that are surrounding him, like a Farah or a Mercy, because he can play fast, he can also play slow. The way you should think about tempo is you should look at every single character, and you should think about what character is going to have the hardest time to flex to a different kind of tempo. Like a Junker Queen that plays slow is quite literally useless. She plays one tempo and one tempo only. It's fast, and if you're not playing fast, you're throwing. Realistically. That is kind of just how she plays. When someone is as that solid as that, every other person's going to follow that tempo and play extremely fast. This Tracer is going to set up to still kill the Sana. Same thing with the Genji. They're just going to pressure whatever this Junker Queen can get an axe on, kill it as fast as possible. All right, on to the next. That is what it will be every single time. So fun, and especially if you're playing Lucio and you have a queen in this meta, literally, okay, in this meta, if you want the quick get rich quick scheme, just speed the freaking queen around and boop the enemy queen away when she tries to look for axe, and you'll win. I've said that before, but it's true. So the main idea here, though, do not spend time letting the Farah do what she wants to do. Do what your team wants to do and walk in. The main idea is that the Junker Queen is the one that's setting up the tempo because she has the hardest time deviating from that, while the rest of your team can deviate a little bit. Help your queen. Walk past that Rhine for the Ana if you can. Walk on that Rhine if you need to. All right, we have speed amp. We need to locate where our queen is. All right, our queen's on point. Our queen has already closed the distance, so I don't necessarily need to use amp right now. Okay, I used amp. We healed my queen. Now I'm speeding her. And here's the thing. On Lucio, if they're not going to take that for you, and they're not going to actually take the speed boosts and heal amps that you're giving them, sometimes then it's upon yourself to take some angles and try to kill their Farah and try to duel people. Duel this Tracer off. Because realistically, that's also your job, is to pressure this Tracer a little bit. Right there, the amp wasn't effective. Your team wasn't trying to walk in. Realistically here, you're just kind of chilling because you're down one. You already got one of the picks that you needed. And like right now, you're just playing this correctly. You're playing close with your queen, and you could be a little bit more aggressive if you wanted to be. Like now, this is okay. If you really think you're gonna get this kill, but you need to get out afterwards. So right here, you have the option to actually speed your Tracer back if you wanted to. Yeah, Shatter, so you want to make sure you're playing off walls. Nice. Speeding the team in. Yep, that's good. Okay, yep, going for an off angle. That's fine, too. Aim could be better. That's a weird situation I need more context for, Vance. Kind of like what I was talking about before. I can't really give you an answer unless I have context. I don't agree with that speed amp. Just because it's like there wasn't an opportunity. You want to use it to. You want to use it to engage your team in that situation, especially when your Moria has fade. But from what I'm seeing here, dude, like you're making a lot of very minor mistakes, and just kind of seems to me like you need to play the game more because you're making high level plays. It looks like you're a Masters or a Diamond player. I would rather sit down with you and actually look at something than a free VOD Friday when I'm extremely tired and it looks fine to me. You could have been a little bit more proactive, but that was one situation. I don't want to give you any advice there because I don't think I'm going to be able to help you there. It was a weird VOD. That said, though, I got to get going to the gym here pretty soon because I'm late. I need to find someone to host. So let's do that, huh? Shall we? Cheers, my friends. Thank you to everyone watching. We were live on both YouTube and Twitch today. It was a very successful stream. I hope I taught you guys a lot of things. Let's see who's streaming right now. We've got Dester Game. We've got... Actually, before we do look to host, I'm gonna switch the. I have to stop the YouTube stream. So again, I appreciate everyone who came out to the YouTube stream. I am dying from allergies right now. I need to get ready for the gym as well. I will see you guys all in the next one. I appreciate you guys for coming out. And if you learned something, please do come back. Next free VOD Friday at 2 p.m. is when it should be. Again, YouTube, I appreciate y'all for coming out. Thank you for the great comments, Vance. And I will see you guys next Friday, maybe Tuesday. Not sure. A lot of content ideas in the works. Make sure to join the Discord. It's in the description. But without further ado, thank you for watching, everyone on YouTube.